Hello, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Stevie, this is Stevie Reads, and we are finally back with another Read It or Unhaul It. I am so excited and terrified as always, and this could not have come at a better time. I have no idea what I'm in the mood to read. I have spent the last week reading all 11 volumes of Saga. I'll link that video down below if you're interested, but if you don't know, Saga is a comic series, so I'm just in the mood to read an actual novel, which is great because that is 99% of this jar. I have no idea what genre I want, but just not a graphic novel or a manga or a comic or any of that. But yeah, so excited. And I did just barely dump out all of the papers onto the floor and mix it around because this jar is too small. I can't even like shake it to mix it. And every time I haul a book, I put in the paper, so I didn't want all the new ones to be on top. So I did just barely mix it right before this. And I am also on the hunt to find a new jar. But yeah, anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna start off with a blind pull because I just have no idea what I want to read. Oh my god, so many dropped everywhere, but I picked a red. Oh my god. And the two that fell out were both salmon. Okay. So scared. Red is a thriller or a horror book. Let us be something not ginormous. Vox. I did not even have to get up to grab that. Vox by Christina Dalcher. I hauled this so many years ago. I have no idea what this is about anymore. Okay, so we are set in the United States, but one day the government decrees that women are no longer allowed more than 100 words per day. Dr. Jean McLean is in denial. This can't happen here, not in America, not to her. Soon, women are not permitted to hold jobs, girls are not taught to read or write, females no longer have a voice. Before, the average person spoke 16,000 words each day, but now women have only 100 to make themselves heard. This sounds like a terrifying, haunting read, only 100 words a day, but let's see where we're starting. Chapter 1. If anyone told me I could bring down the president and the Pure movement and the incompetent little shit Morgan LeBron in a week's time, I wouldn't believe them, but I wouldn't argue. I wouldn't say a thing. I've become a woman of few words. Sorry, I got sucked into that and I read the entire first little paragraph, but we are at the dinner table and very interesting. They're wearing watches that count their word count. Okay, I am so intrigued. Some people on the back who blurbed it: Melissa Broder, who wrote The Pisces, which I loved, Alice Feeney. I haven't read from her, I don't think, but I own 2 of her books as well that I have not read. But okay, this was reminding me immediately of The Handmaid's Tale, and I know I got this at a used bookstore forever and ever ago, so I love the jar for this very reason, making me pick up books that have sat and collected dust. It is 324 pages, so chapter 38, that's page 161. I'll let you know how it goes. I am running late for work, so excuse this hectic update, but it is Monday morning right now, and I just barely got up to page 160, and this book is pissing me off, which is the intent of the book, so like it's doing a good job for what it's trying to say, but every time I read it, I'm getting like viscerally pissed off. Like even last night I was on the couch reading it and our living room and kitchen are like connected, and my husband was making dinner and I just kept making all these noises reading this book, and he was just like, oh, that book's making you mad again, because I literally can't pick it up without getting angry. And without getting too spoilery in where I'm at in the story right now, this world is scary, and it's actually set in the past, which I didn't think. I don't know if it gave an exact year. Her kids were listening to like an MP3, so maybe that's late 90s or early 2000s, I don't know. But anyway, this is a terrifying America, and it didn't happen overnight. A lot of people fled and went to a lot of different places in the world to get away from this, and our main character admits that she was in her own bubble. She is a scientist, a very important doctor who is working on a cure for like this brain aneurysm thing. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but she's really intelligent, and her husband is also a scientist. There's a cat in my backyard. Anyway, and so she saw the warning signs, but she also does have 4 kids, and she reflects and thinks a lot about the fact that if she didn't have kids, she would have been able to escape a lot easier. Her and her husband would have had the money and the means to get out before it got this bad. But in the current situation, people are making the jokes that it went back to like 1950s times, but it is way worse than even that. All of her money in her bank account got transferred into her husband's name. She has no more access to the internet or books or paper or pens. She cannot write down anything. Obviously, the whole point of the book is that they only have 100 words per day. They have a wristwatch that keeps count of it. If you go over, it shocks you, and then if you keep going over and over and over, it'll shock you until you pass out. And she has 3 sons and 1 daughter. One of the sons is like 16 about, and he is 100% believing in everything that's going on, which is so scary. It reminds me a lot of, what is it, the red pill guys who like blindly follow Andrew and Tristan Tate. Like, I really try to look at nothing like that on my algorithm because I don't want to get more of it, but her son is already starting to tell her that like a woman's job is in the kitchen and da 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 da. And then she has 2 10-year-old boys who are just 10-year-old boys. Like, they got used to the reality of their mother and sister not talking very quick, and to fill the gap, they've just talked and talked and talked and talked. And then her daughter is winning prizes at school. She's in elementary, I think she said like 6 or 7 years old, but she is winning prizes for saying the least amount of words in a day. And the little girl's education is basically home ec on steroids. All they really learn is how to sew and cook and math so that they can cook and do stuff like that, but no reading, no writing, no speaking. And my immediate thought to this premise of the book is like, well, the deaf community is probably the only women who are thriving because they still have a language that they can do with their hands. But I was even wrong in that there are cameras everywhere in this new society, and anyone who is seen to be doing any form of sign language gets taken out immediately. Because if this society were to happen, obviously a lot of people don't fit into the standard of man, woman, married in a household with children. There are single people, there are gay people, and basically all of them are either carted off to some kind of like work prison or sex slavery. And yeah, so that's like the world. And our main character is asked to go back to work. The president's brother has whatever brain thing that she was working on the cure for, and the people who were in her department worked for her, and they don't have the answers. And all of these men come crawling back to ask for her help, and it is an insane concept and a very quick read. All of these chapters are like 2 pages. So when I actually get the time to sit down and read, I can read 50 pages in one go without even thinking about it. So I'm definitely going to finish it. I'm curious in how it's ending, but when I'm reading it, it is making me so fucking mad. So warning for that, if you want to read a book that's going to piss you off, but the only redeeming thing is that we're following a very headstrong, intelligent woman, and she's using this opportunity to go back to work to make her own demands. And I'm just praying that she tears down this system. Like, it is getting into the Handmaid's territory where they're just using women for their uteruses because birth control is no longer allowed, even in a marriage. She said that what used to stock the shelves with the condoms and the Plan B and everything, all of those aisles got replaced with baby food and diapers. And yeah, it is a horrific setting. Like, even her own family, her son and her husband, she is trying so hard not to hate them, but they're not doing anything. And yeah, anyway, now I'm really late to work. I gotta go, but I'm going to finish this very quickly because I really just need the ending of watching this girly burn the world down. Hello! It is Tuesday afternoon right now. I just barely got home from work, and while I was at work, I finished Vox, and unfortunately, I'm just giving it a 3, so not a bad book for me. I didn't dislike reading it, but it just felt like one of those books that had an insane premise, but the actual execution of like the plot and the story was not fully thought out or fleshed out. And I did see when I finished it, like, the most asked questions at the end. The author was talking about how she wrote this book in 2 months. And no shade to Miss Christina Dalcher, but I think she could have taken more than 2 months to go back through it and edit it and change some things, because it's such an intense story. Like, the conversations they're having are crazy, but it still felt low stakes at the same time. I don't know. I didn't fully annotate it, but I did highlight when I was reading, just with quotes that I liked and stuff. So I'm going to keep my copy. I don't feel a need to unhaul, but not a new favorite or anything. So anyway, first book of the video down. 3 stars, and we get to pull another book. Over the past couple of reader unhaul its, I've picked the second color, but I still have no idea what I'm in the mood for, so we are gonna do another blind pull, which is so scary. Oh my god, it's so scary every time, but we got this. It's gonna be a good book. It's gonna be a 5-star, like, new favorite. Don't even know what genre, but it's gonna be a maze. Ooh, okay. One fell, but okay. Salmon is contemporary literary fiction, and there's a lot of books on that shelf I want to read. So Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. Let me grab to just show how much I already love this book. I mean, I wasn't lying when I said I would pull a 5-star. This book was 5 stars and it was amazing. Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. If you have not read, Sally Rooney is one of the best authors in the world. I love this so much, and I actually read it in a video, so I'll link the video down below if you're interested in my thoughts, but clearly she has already been read. Okay, scary. I should have kept out the other one that fell, but okay, anyway, blind pull again. I swear to God if it's another book that I've already read. Pink, okay. Pink romance, which is also a high chance that I've read it, but let's see, hopefully not. If We Ever Meet Again. This is an Anna Huang book. Okay, so these are the If Love series by Anna Huang. I bought all 4 of them, but I wasn't gonna start the series until I caught up on the Kings of Sin, and I still have one more to read in that, but this is fine. We're just skipping the line and gonna read If We Ever Meet Again. I have not heard one singular person talk about this book. I know that it was self-published, I think in 2020. Yeah, self-published in 2020, but they put out these paperbacks with these sprayed edges last year, and I grabbed all of them. They were at Costco, so very cheap, but I'm gonna look at the tropes on the back. Oh no, I hope there's no cheating in this book. So our main girly, 19-year-old Farah, is going to fall in love for the first time during her year abroad in Shanghai. Only one problem: her would-be leading man is her new friend's boyfriend. There's nothing worse than being in love with someone you can't have, or at least she thinks it's love. And then the man, his name is Blake. He was a college football star who shocked the world when he quit after his 3rd national championship. Okay, so it's her friend's boyfriend. I really hope that there's no cheating, because that's gonna make me not like it. But oh, and this is book 1 in a duet. Blake and Farah's story continues in book 2. Okay, so If the Sun Never Sets is also about them. I think this one's probably gonna end up on a cliffhanger then, but we will see. Prologue: this would kill him. It didn't matter how much he prepared. These next 30 minutes were going to rip his heart out and pulverize it. It was inevitable. Dramatic, but cool. I'm intrigued. I really want to like this book, because if not, then like I'd be unhauling 2 of them, because there's no point to continue if I don't like this one in the sequel with the same couple. But also, like, I own the whole series, so I really want to like this first one. But let's see how long it is. Oh, that's book 2 at the end. Okay, 280. Ooh, nice and little. Okay, cool. So I will come on. Page 140 is chapter 18. Hopefully that's just tomorrow. I feel like I could read quite a bit of it tonight, but my mom is gonna come over, so going to clean up a little bit before she gets here, and then tonight I will get to reading. Fingers crossed that this is at least better than a 3-star. Okay, I have a lot of updates and not a lot of sun, so I'm gonna be quick. But when was my last update? Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, and right now it's Thursday night. So really quick update, just like life-wise, because what a week. So right after that clip, when I pulled If We Ever Meet Again, my mom came over, really sweet. She brought over dinner for me and my husband and herself, just came over to hang out. And while we're sitting there waiting for my husband to come home, his name's Jordan, by the way, but he called saying that he was coming home from work and that he hurt his foot, but couldn't really tell how bad it was. And basically what happened is it got smushed at his job site, and it was at the end of his workday, so you know, adrenaline and everything, he just got through the last 30 minutes of his shift, came home, and then once we were able to take off his boot and his sock, we could tell that his foot was really starting to swell, and so it was pretty scary. Didn't know if it was broken or what was going on. Went to the doctors, got some x-rays. On the x-rays, everything looks okay, but we were told you can't see as much on an x-ray as you would a CT, so he has a follow-up appointment tomorrow morning to see if it's gotten worse or not, and if we need to do a CT to see if there's like hairline fractures and stuff. Anyway, Tuesday and Wednesday were filled with figuring that out, going to the hospitals. We end up having to go to 2 places, and yeah, wasn't a very good time, and definitely didn't make me want to pick up a like college romance. Like, wasn't super the vibe, not where my headspace was at. But I called out of work yesterday on Wednesday so that I could go with him, and you know, before he had crutches and everything, it was hard for him to move because he couldn't put any pressure on his foot. He still can't really put any pressure on his foot, and yeah, it's been adjusting to a new normal. I just really feel for him. It sucks. Getting hurt sucks so bad, but especially something like a foot or a knee or really anything on the legs that like impede your mobility is so frustrating. And he has a really good attitude about it, just bunny hopping all over the place, but I'm taking care of him and we will get through it. Anyway, this book, I don't want to get through it. I made it up to page 68, and I think I have to break up with Anna Huang because I am not liking her books anymore. So here is my history with her. I started, like most people, at the Twisted series and gave the first one a 3. I read it in 2023. I think that's when I read all of these. And it wasn't the best book I've ever read, but it was a 3-star, so whatever. The second one, Twisted Games, this is the only book of hers that I've given 5 stars, and it's pretty much because it's the princess and bodyguard trope. I really like that trope. The banter was fun and everything, so this is my favorite of hers, and probably the reason why I've kept reading her for so long. Twisted Hate, Twisted Lies, both 3 stars as well. Then her Kings of Sin series. The first one I gave a 4, so this one's probably my second favorite. Well, it is my second favorite of hers. I unhauled book 2, King of Pride, because I gave that one 2 stars and it's in my closet. I could grab it, but I'm lazy. King of Greed, I just read super recently in my most recent series Knockout, I think. And is anybody shocked? This was 3 stars. So she's actually a pretty middle of the road author for me. So I don't know why I still have so many books of hers on my TBR, but I still have all of these, and I think I'm going to cut it down to just these 4 because I don't care about this couple at all. I mean, I am 68 pages in, so did I give it a very fair chance? Who knows? It honestly could just be circumstantial that I'm like just not in the mood to read this right now. But these past couple days have been a lot mentally, not poor me or anything because nothing actually happened to me, but just being a supportive spouse to somebody going through that, just everything like logistically that follows an injury. It can be annoying and stressful, and part of the reason I love reading so much and have loved it for years is no matter what you're going through, you can pick up a good book and escape into another world for however long you're sitting and reading your book, which is so cheesy and gross to say. I'm sorry, it's a booktube channel. But I started this yesterday on Wednesday night once we got home and we had everything figured out. You know, his work has been amazing, texting him like just get feeling better, all of that. We were finally sitting on the couch just like, okay, doctor's appointment's done. We don't think there's a break. Now it's just resting and healing. And I started this book and I just kept rereading the same pages over and over again. And maybe it's because my mind still wasn't in it, but it also isn't a very captivating story. So yeah, I don't know what to do with that. These books were written before the Twisted series because apparently the Twisted series came out in 2021 and these are all 2020 releases. So maybe they were self-published for a reason for so long, and you know, they weren't picked up by a publisher because she was so new to writing, and that's totally okay. Not even dissing self-published books. Sorry, I'm going back on everything I'm saying, but there are some authors who I love their self-published books, but sadly that's not the case for these two. And these two books in the series I'm gonna keep on my shelves just because I haven't given them a chance yet. Who knows, maybe I'll start it one day and love it. These both can be read as standalones and they're following different couples, so I'm gonna keep these on my shelves, and we are unhauling these two. I have so many books surrounding me, so I'm just gonna start making piles. But I'm also debating getting rid of some of these 3 stars that I've given out. I don't know, I for sure want to keep these two, my 4 and my 5 star from her. These ones are good, but am I ever gonna reread Twisted Love? I don't think so. I can get rid of that one. And I just read King of Greed and I liked it enough, so I'll keep, as well as the 4th one. This one's still on the TBR. And with these two, I remember liking this one better. I did think this one was too long for what it was, but the banter was good. My stack getting into the frame, but I didn't really care about Jules and Josh as much. So, okay, I think I'll get rid of these two as well. This was not what I had intended for this Read or Unhaul It, but we're gonna unhaul these 4 books. We're gonna keep these 2. And then this is her newest release, which I bought when it came out, when I still had a higher opinion of her. Not to shit on Anna Huang, I just think that she's not as much of a favorite as I thought she was, now that I'm actually picking up these series that I've been hauling for so long. But anyway, enough of the Anna Huang crisis. Also, new update, drum roll please, because we got a new jar. But today I went to work, and on my lunch break I stopped at the thrift store. I'll insert that clip right now too. It's only a couple of seconds because there was so many people around, but here you go. Trying to thrift a bigger TBR jar, but I think we're out of luck. All of these are like open tops. And I ended up picking up this bad girl. She was pretty grody when I got home, so I did wash her and I dumped all of the papers in here. And the main goal was I just wanted something to be able to shake. That is so satisfying. And I can reach my hand in here easily and like fully mix them around. So it does look like half empty for sure, but the other one was too damn full, and I don't think I can find a happy medium. I mean, I was looking on Amazon and I found ones that were like $15 and $20, and I was like, I'm just gonna check the thrift store, and this gorgeous girl was $3 whole. So I love her, and I've also decided that this whole video is just gonna be a blind pull episode because I still have no idea what I want to read. I mean, I read Vox, which was 3 stars and interesting, I guess, but didn't love, and then immediately disliked If We Never Meet Again. So we are just gonna pull a 3rd one, or 4th one technically, because I did pull Intermezzo, but first pull out of the brand new jar. So very exciting stuff. Pink again, we got another romance. If it's an Anna Huang, I'm gonna give up. I'm deleting the channel. Like, oh my god, okay. Anything other than Anna Huang. Meet Cute Club. Okay, I also thrifted this book. So today is just the day of thrifting, but really quick before my son goes away completely, Meet Cute Club by Jack Harbin. If you can't tell by the cover, it is a male-male romance. And I'm gonna read the back really quick. Jordan Collins doesn't need a man. My husband's name is Jordan. This is going to be interesting. What he needs is for his favorite author to release another one of her sexy supernatural novels and more people to sign up for the romance book club that he fears is slowly and steadily losing its steam. Not me relating to Jordan. I also love a sexy supernatural novel, and he works at a bookstore, and has a little feud with one of the employees named Rex Bailey. And Rex joins his book club. And even though Jordan doesn't really like Rex, he's like, I'm not in the position to be turning away any interested members, not even ones like Rex, who somehow managed to be both frustratingly obnoxious and breathtakingly handsome. As Jordan and Rex team up to bring the club back from the ashes, Jordan soon discovers that Rex might not be the arrogant troll he made himself out to be, and that, like with all things in life, maybe he was wrong to judge a book by its cover. Aw, cute. Okay, I found this in the like LGBTQ section of my favorite used bookstore. It's in Sugar House if you live in Utah, and it's called Central Book Exchange. You can bring used books there and you get points, and then you can use those points towards buying books they sell. Not an ad for them, but I do love them. Anyway, it is almost dark. We need to read the first line. Oh my god, the dedication for this book. To anyone turning to romance for an escape, we'll get through this, I promise. Was I literally just not saying I wanted to read a book to escape? I'm immediately highlighting that. Sorry, but that's cute as hell. And to Barbara, it still doesn't feel like you're really gone. You told me to write something for you, so this one's for you, Grandma. I hope you like it as much as you liked reading my awful, terrible manuscripts in the past. Content warning, there is mentions of homophobia, so know that going in. And chapter 1. Claudia's entire body was aflame. The fire deep within her only stoked further by Darian's rugged hands on her hips, traveling higher and higher over the curves of her body. I think maybe we're starting off reading the book that they're going to be reading in the book club, but jumping right into it with the first line. And this is also a self-published book, so I'm happy I'm replacing one with another one, and hopefully this one just works for me better. But we have 229 pages. So cute and little. I love that. And what's the closest chapter break around there? Chapter 8 is page 109, so a little less than halfway, but cool. Only 108 pages. I'm going to get it started right now, but I'm really excited. I don't think I've read anything by this author before. I just saw it at that bookstore and read the back, and I was like, that sounds so cute. So anyway, this clip is 24 fucking minutes long. I will talk to you later. Hello! It is Saturday morning. Well, I guess technically Saturday afternoon. And I look like I've been to the beach, a little red, and my hair is all wet. I wish that I just came from the beach, but I actually just took a shower. And I was so hot coming out of the shower, so I think I'm just red because I'm warm. But I also just opened my window, so if you hear outside noises, apologies, but it's 50 degrees outside, so I was like, just give me that air. Anyway, I didn't end up reading anything on Thursday. Maybe I read just a chapter, but I mostly just edited. And then yesterday I got up to page 80 something, but I got really distracted by the movie Shrek. I don't know what brought it on, but I was reading this book and they don't mention Shrek or anything, but I was just itching to watch those movies. I don't know why. It's been so many years, like I don't even think I've seen it as an adult. So I watched the first one. So iconic and amazing. Immediately watched the second, and I was halfway through the third before I finally went to bed last night. And then this morning I did not let myself watch Shrek, and I actually saw that Chloe, Kevin, and Caitlin did a live last night. It was like 2 a.m. for me, but they did some reading sprints. And so I watched that this morning and finally got halfway through Meet Cute Club. So up to chapter 8. And I don't know if I can say this is a slow burn because I'm only 100 pages in, but I guess for the overall story, like we're halfway through and they've kissed a couple of times, but definitely not boyfriends yet, and just barely have started to go on like a couple official dates. But I do think this story is living up to its name. It is really, really cute. And I was wrong when I read the synopsis that they were co-workers. Rex works part-time at Jordan's favorite bookstore. So that's where they met. Was Jordan was checking out a bunch of romance novels and Rex made a snarky little comment about it. And then I don't think it can be classified as enemies to lovers because they weren't ever never really enemies. Even in their first interaction, it ended with Rex calling him handsome. So they've always had that flirty banter. And right now we're in the point of the story where Rex has promised Jordan he will help him revive the romance book club. They're posting up flyers to try to get more members. And so it just feels like a really like wholesome storyline and setting for this romance. I'm relating most to Jordan's character. He's going through a little bit of a crisis with like his work life, which thankfully I cannot relate to, but just like his love of reading and filling up all of his free times with books or something related to books like filming or book clubs or stuff like that. And then they both have a important grandmother figure in their life as well. So the reason that Rex is working part-time at this bookstore is his grandma recently passed away and he was the only one who volunteered to go through her things and get the house ready for sale and all of that. So right now he's living in his grandmother's house, and when she was alive, like, they had a really good relationship, so it's hard to go through all of her things, but he's also getting to like see her life through a different point of view. And then Jordan is really close with his grandma. She is still alive, living in a nursery home, and he goes and visits her like every week. So they have that in common as well. So very, very cute. And yeah, I am liking it. I don't know if it's 5-star feelings. We'll see how the second half goes, but it is a very quick read. I just am a little bit busier than normal right now, having to take care of my Jordan. And I also just got distracted by some very highbrow cinema, the Shrek trilogy. Or actually, how many movies are there? Like 4 or 5? I don't know, but I was smiling, giggling, kicking my feet at the movies yesterday. Not so much at this book, but it's such a short story, so I don't know. I think the characters are fleshed out and the interactions that we do see are really like cute and bantery, but we're also skipping a lot in time. Like, they went on one date and the chapter ends, and then the next chapter it's a week later and they're going on another date. So I don't feel like I'm getting all of the little moments that you get in the blooming stage of a new relationship, but also this is a novella, so I don't think I can ask for all that much. Anyway, all that to say is that I'm having a good time, but right now it's feeling maybe 3-star, or if I really like the ending, maybe a 4. But yeah, definitely gonna keep reading this today. I think it's like 11:30 right now, and I don't have a lot of plans, literally just like doing laundry and stuff around the house. But then my sister Taylor is gonna come over later as well, so that'll be a lot of fun, get to hang out with her. But yeah, I only have 120 pages left. If I just can get off my phone and the TV and focus on reading, this will not take me a long time. I just need to lock in and get it done. Hello. It is almost exactly 24 hours later. It is almost noon on Sunday. Last night I got to page like 150 of Meet Cute Club, but then my sister came over, we got some gourmet McDonald's and just yapped for a couple of hours, and I probably could have finished it last night, but this book kind of lost me in the end. I did finish it, but this morning I felt like I had to push through the last 80 pages, even though it is such a small book. Also, doesn't really matter, but I mixed up who they were on the cover. This is Jordan, this is Rex, and I think I mixed it up because we switched whose perspective we were in just within a chapter and within a scene. Like, there was no distinction when we were switching between who we were. And in the beginning of the story, I thought we were in Rex's perspective when he kissed Jordan and he felt a beard, and so I was like, oh, that's obviously Jordan. But then in the second half of the story, Jordan was on the phone with his grandma and she was giving him shit and was like, get your black ass over here. And I was like, I had that mixed up the whole time. But anyway, I might have just been reading it too passively. You have to pay attention to whose head you're in. Anyway, my rating is a 3-star, which I hate when I do a reader unhaul it and I don't have a favorite, just because I don't want to be like hating on everything I'm reading. But this story was very surface level for me, and it was very cute and bantery, but the third act breakup felt so abrupt and so out of nowhere. It really took me out of the story, and then it was made up in the next chapter, boom, end of story. And Rex had a lot of family drama. Jordan met his sister and his parents at the end of the story, and that was a whole plot line. But I think I would have liked more on their actual relationship and less of the pointless family drama and all of the book club drama. Anyway, it was a quick read, really easy to finish even though I wasn't super interested, and I did highlight along the way, but they're just few and far between. And yeah, so now I'm debating unhauling this one too because I don't think I would ever reread. So what's the point of owning it? Yeah, I just talked myself into unhauling it. Okay, wow. So in this video, shockingly, we started off with the best book, Vox, which was also a 3-star, but a very interesting concept, fast-paced, small chapters, and I did like some of the conversations. So the one book I am keeping, and also maybe it's just because it's spring, but I'm just feeling like purging items out of my life right now. So Vox is the only one that survived. Then we pulled Intermezzo, which I didn't even grab, but 5 stars, amazing. Pick up that book. Barely even gave If We Ever Meet Again a chance, and took off If the Sun Never Sets off my TBR. Went through an entire Anna Huang crisis and unhauled 2 of her other books. So giving me some more room on my romance shelf. This was nice and very needed. We'll see if I even like the other 2 books in this series. I'm not rushing to pick them up. And then reading Meet Cute Club. It was a cute enough time, but I'd rather donate it and maybe somebody will pick it up and it'll have more of an impact on them. I think this is the first time in an episode where we read 2 books, but we are unhauling 5. It fits for the chaotic week that we've been having. Quick update on my husband if you're interested. He had his follow-up appointment on Friday. They did more x-rays and they still don't think it's broken. So he's starting physical therapy on Tuesday and Thursday next week, and still just doing all the basics, icing, elevating, and putting no pressure on it. So yeah. Thank God, not broken, but just living that crutches life. But anyway, if you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. This was so fun to film and so chaotic, but thanks for coming on this journey, and subscribe down below if you want more. And I'll see you in my next one very soon. Bye!